Hello, beautiful people of the internet. It is me, Serendipity, and today we are here for a reading of how are you currently being perceived by the world. I would just like to say, hey y'all, it's been a long time, and I'm so happy to be back. I will be back consistently. I'm not leaving. You will not. I will not leave. I've committed. I've committed to my spirit. I've committed to God. I've committed to you guys, and I've committed to myself. So you will be seeing me 5 to 6 times a week, and I am not joking. You'll be either on live, either on videos. I am completely committed because you know what happened, y'all know what happened. I'm going to insert a picture on the screen. My laptop is broken. It is broken. So you could donate to the Broke B Laptop New Laptop Fund. I need to think of a better name, but like a broke bitch new laptop fund. If you want to donate, if you resonate with these readings, if you'd like to get a reading from me, again, I do have a new website that I have not really promoted or done anything for, but you'll see an introduction to that in your pile, so I won't harp too much on that. But yes, if this reading resonates, I highly, highly, highly appreciate a subscription, a like, specifically a comment, a like, a subscription. It all helps the algorithm. It helps me. Honestly, I'm staying committed whether I get 2 views on these videos or if I get 1,000 views. I will be posting regardless. But in terms of if you do like my readings, if I give you live readings, and you would love to support your channel, just liking, subscribing, commenting, and again, if you have some funds to donate, again, we need a new laptop. So all of my YouTube money is straight going towards savings for a new laptop. As you can probably have seen on the screen, it is broken, and broke like me. I'm actually not broke. Let me not say that. I'm not broke, but I do not have the funds for a new laptop. I'm actually moving to a new city, so you'll see a new background again very soon. As you can probably tell, I am in a much better spirits than I have been. Honestly, I've been dealing with a lot of spiritual battles, honey. I've been dealing with a lot of spiritual battles, a lot of mental health issues, a lot of moving. I am doing this very, very big project that I've been working on, as well as still trying to just get my tarot videos, get my project right. Again, I am a Life Path 11. These videos are not just a side hustle, a side business, which I call it to people because I need to be more confident in my spiritual ability. This is not just something that I just do because I need money. This is something because I am truly feeling I'm called to it, and this is what I'm supposed to do. So I'm now reframing my set of mind as this is not just a side hustle, a side business, something I'm doing for money. This is something that is for my spirit, which is, I think, really going to help me stay dedicated to getting the readings to you guys. So thank you so much for sticking with me if you are a returning subscriber, and thank you, hello, if you are new. I know that was a whole tangent. You know, where Sagittarius is here. Chaotic. What's it called? But yes, you will be seeing me a lot more. So be sure to comment on what readings you would like to see, especially if you resonate with these readings. And you resonate with me as your reader. And again, check out my website if you need a personal reading. Everything's linked below, and there will be more information in your piles. Alrighty, let's get into your piles though. So for the piles today, pile number 1, we have a pyrite. Here we go. We have a pyrite stone. Pile 2, we have a tiger's eye kitty, cute. And lastly, for pile number 3, we have a rose quartz. And yes, this is how you are currently being perceived by the world. How are you being seen? What is your aura? What's your aura resonating? You know what I mean? So I'm going to light the candle, light the incense, and you can pick your pile, y'all. Give me 1 second, y'all. Again, child, it's difficult today. Collective pile number 1s, if you picked this pyrite, already child, already. So, y'all, I'm not even near the laptop, so I can't even pause. Oh my God. Because, y'all, if you don't know, I'm filming on my TV. Y'all, like, not on my TV. I'm filming on my phone, but it's on my TV, so I'm not really there. It's a lot. We're going to continue. All right, so if you picked pile number 1, you have the pyrite crystal. Welcome to your reading of how are you currently being perceived by the world. A reminder to please like, comment, and subscribe if this reading resonates. I'm really appreciate it. My laptop is broken. I appreciate any donations at this time, especially if you would like to get a reading. You should see my website on the screen right now, how to get to book a reading, how to learn about me, all that good stuff. But I'm not going to yap too much. Let's get started because... Child, Spirit is testing me. They said, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want this channel? Anyways, so we're going to start with your tarot. But before we get to your tarot, let's get your archetype card and your animal oracle, because this is how you're being perceived. I really got the archetype and the animal for like, how are you being perceived? What are you emanating right now? And the other 2 cards we have are going to be your advice. So we're going to save those for the end. So... all right, I hope I'm speaking loud enough because the microphone is slightly broken, so I'm doing my best, y'all. Turn up your volume if you can't hear me. The first card we have is the gecko. It says synchronicity, optimism, truth, and mobility, number 33. So I'm getting right now, you are being seen in a very positive light. You're being seen as a person who... like with wisdom, the 33 gives me like life path 33, life path 3, that's creativity, life path 6, love, happiness. You're being seen very positively, very optimistic. Again, very wise. The gecko is also giving me a very wise character, someone who is adaptable, someone who can adapt to their surroundings well. I'm also getting that you have, you're being perceived as a very... capable. That's a really good word right now for you. You're being perceived as very capable of accomplishing your dreams, capable of doing what you need to do in the world, and just capable of just like love, light, and happiness, and like positivity. What was the other word? Truth. Yeah, and like optimism. So I'm also getting you're also kind of being perceived as someone who is no longer, I'm getting you were pessimistic. I'm getting someone who's also really looked within themselves and has now become very optimistic, has really changed their mindset. And sorry if the smoke is going everywhere. My fan's on. Y'all, I live in Spain. It is hot here. So yeah, as I said, like adaptable, like, you know, you can live in different climates. You can fit in with a lot of different groups too. So here, your second card was also networker. Yes, I remember pulling this one. It says enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. Yeah, I think the empathy part, that's what I was kind of getting with the like you're very, like the life path 33, life path 6, very caring, very giving. You understand people. People understand you, and that's how you're being perceived. It's like you can really tap into a person's psyche. It says, yeah, it has to do through sharing information. Yeah, again, very wise. Yeah, so you could be networking right now. You could be on the job search. If you are networking, if you're out in the market field, if you're trying to build connections, you're being seen in a very, very positive light right now. Don't think that you're not, because you are. You're being seen very positively. You're being perceived very well. You're being perceived in a good light. Okay, here, give me 1 second. I'm going to move it back. So... child, pausing is such a big deal. Give me 1 second. Alrighty, y'all, I am back. I'm sorry if it doesn't look the best. Like, I try to set it up, but because I kicked it at the beginning of your reading, it kind of just messed up. So, like, I don't know what it looks like. We do our best here. All right, but let's get into your tarot. That was just with your immediate energies of just, like, a networker. I know it's not the chameleon card, it's the gecko, but like I'm getting a chameleon again, even though it's not a gecko. Just someone who can really blend into different environments, and again, very intelligent, someone people want to work with, someone people want to collaborate with, want to hear your knowledge. Again, life path 33s as well, life path 3s, life path 6. Those are just coming through with the numbers. Alrighty, now let's get into your tarot. So, how are you currently being perceived right now? Queen of Swords, intelligent. What did I say? Very smart, very capable. King of Wands. Okay, period. We have the Ace of Swords. Girl, okay, this is very synchronistic. Love you, love it. We have the Queen of Swords, King of Wands, confidence, Ace of Swords. We have the Four of Swords, and we have the Two of Cups. I'm hearing one more, and that's it for you guys. So you guys are only going to have 6 cards. So your last card is the Strength. And I heard take the bottom deck. We're taking the bottom deck for every pile. I usually don't, but I heard take the bottom deck for the piles today. Alrighty, so let's get into your cards. We have the Queen of Swords, King of Wands, Ace of Swords, Four of Swords, Two of Cups, Strength, and bottom deck is the Hermit. So pile number ones. So pile number ones. Okay, so you are being perceived as someone who is intelligent, someone who, the coldness energy I am feeling with the Hermit, the Four of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. So you could be seen as solitudes, by yourself, but it's because of reflection. You've been really reflecting. I think that's where the wisdom is coming from, because the Two of Cups gives you that you are still involved with people. People still do want to work with you. King of Wands tells me that you are very confident right now. You're mature. You are building. Sorry, there's this YouTube video with it's from Cut. It's the Queen. I just, as I said, it's from Cut. I saw 11:11, so maybe you want to watch that video. It's the one with Quinlan Blackwell and specifically the YouTuber Ryan, or Rhino. But he he asked the question, like, how would you describe your life right now? How would you describe? What word would you use? And she goes, building. And that's kind of what I got. You are building, and you're being perceived as someone who is like about to level up. Like, you really are about to level up. You are a little solitary right now with the Hermit, with the Four of Swords. Queen of Swords is like, you're being a little cutthroat. You're not playing games. You know what I mean? There's not much fun energy here. It's more like, I'm focused. I'm capable. I'm going to share the information. I'm going to get information. I can understand you. You're trying to work with other people. Ace of Swords is also giving me, you're being perceived as very intelligent, someone who is in touch with the divine, with that synchronicity on the Gecko card, with someone who is very tapped in right now. You're being seen as someone who is tapped in to your spirit, to your knowledge. Again, sorry, y'all, I got the fan on, and no, the candle keeps going out. Oh my God, this is my Archangel Michael candle. Protection, y'all. Always keep the protection heavy. But anyways, so someone who is also strength. I think that was what I'm getting, like an inner strength, a little ego. I heard a little ego. So you are being perceived as a little bit of ego, but maybe you've had some wins recently. Again, this could come, I'm hearing like networking circles. So maybe you've been at events, you've been at specific networking events, or you've been at specific, like, if you're a teacher, if you are trying to get a new job, if you have just been partying, if those type of circles where you're talking to like-minded people in the same field. I heard people within the same field as you. You may be being seen as slightly egotistical with that strength, not because you are ego, but it's because you are very confident right now. You're very sure. You are like, I know where I'm going, and that is it, period. It's like, you know where you're going, but you're also sharing your knowledge. So it's kind of, you're coming off as like superior. You know what I mean? You're being perceived as superior because you do know where you're going. You do know what you're doing. You know how to manifest. I heard you just know how to manifest right now. And you should be manifesting, because the Ace of Swords telling me that not only are you being seen as someone who is getting a lot of like divine inspirations, you are being perceived as someone who is just like, you're really, what's the word? Let me get my book. Like, I'm thinking of a specific word, but I think the book has the word. So give me a minute. Let me get the Ace of Swords. Because, like, clarity, I know the main words are clarity and something else. Clarity, new ideas. That's what I'm trying to think. Yes, you are innovative. That's what I was trying to get. Like, you're innovative. And I think it's coming from this Four Swords place. This place is Four Swords, this Hermit energy at the bottom deck, kind of like with the whole spread. again, you are being seen as someone who is out there, but you're taking care of yourself, period. You are taking care of yourself, which is very, very, very good in this thing, especially when you're building something for your career, when you're building your own self-love. Maybe it's a body goal. Maybe, I heard fitness, okay? Maybe you're fitness influencers. Maybe you want to become an fitness influencer, and you're being seen right now as someone who is capable of doing that. That means you are going to the gym. You are focused with that Queen of Swords. You are using strength. That's another reason. So yes, definitely some fitness influencers or want to be fitness influencers in here. Cool. I resonate. I don't want to be a fitness influencer, but I like fitness. And I do watch fitness influencers. Regardless. So for the personal and spiritual for the Ace of Swords, I'm really getting called to read this. It says, heed to the call to deepen your spiritual practice or develop your psychic and intuitive gifts. If you feel struck by inspiration, if your personal or spiritual life, take action and don't worry about the details. Yeah, that King of Wands, take action. You're being guided toward next steps, but be open to the portal to the guidance. You must be bold and initiate action. You may notice improved communication and clarity with friends and people you spend time with the most. Yes, as well as communication. Wasn't communication on one of these cards? No, it wasn't. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. And then sharing information. Maybe that's what I got, communication. Your communication skills are also developing. I'm getting you've gotten very much better at communicating your ideas. I don't think you have always been the best at communicating your ideas, but I do think you are getting much, much, much better. You're maturing. The Queen of Swords and the King of Wands really opening up your energy. It's a very powerful energy. You know what I mean? It's a very air, fire, go. And just, again, very capable, very sure. I keep saying the same thing, but that's what I'm intuitively getting. Like, you are a good person, and I want you to know that you really are a good person, and you're really being supported by the divine. The Two of Cups is giving me, you're being not only seen as, it's not really giving me love, but it could just be love. Like, you're giving me a person of, like, people want to work with you because they can see you're genuine. They know you are a genuine person, a genuine soul. You may be a little bit hard to reach with that Queen of Swords. You may be a little bit secluded with that Hermit, the Four of Swords. But you are a genuine soul. You are a genuine person. You are someone that people would want to collaborate with, work with, and trust. People would trust you. I think people inherently trust you, and people inherently want to share their ideas with you. Maybe that's that gecko energy with the truth. Yeah, it's like you're trustworthy. And mobility gives that, you're flexible. You can move in different ways. And I think with the number 33, and I was just funny enough doing a deep dive on all of the master numbers because I am a life path 11. Again, with the master numbers, people think master numbers is like, oh my God, no, girl, it just means we've been here a long time and life is hard. And life path 33 specifically have the hardest lives. Like, they have usually the hardest lives. They usually it's because they're supposed to develop or they've already developed an innate sense of just compassion and love and learning how to help the rest of the world because they've pretty much done it all. And, I've met a life party 33. Hey girl, if you're here, maybe this is your pile. What's it called? And it's they're supposed to really develop that. And I'm getting you probably have been through a lot. Intuitively, maybe that was that Four of Swords, that Hermit. You could be in your Saturn return right now. So if you're in your Saturn return, good luck to you. But you could be in your Saturn return right now. You could be in a place of you're now finally understanding that balance. You're finally understanding the balance between helping others, sharing your knowledge, but also caring for yourself. It's you're not only developing yourself, building your own life, working with other people, helping others. I'm hearing helping others build their life, but you've now you've now kind of finally reached the place where you're okay, I can't save everyone. I can't save the world. I can't do that. I have to, save myself first. And I have to have a deeper understanding with spirit as well. I'm also getting a lot about spiritual knowledge with the Ace of Swords that came out. And the Hermit and kind of the Four of Swords too. You've also kind of being called, synchronicity as well. I think people are also perceiving you as someone who is deepening their relationship with spirit, deepening a relationship with God, with the angel as well. I actually have my angel card today. So we have the angel and a little self-care message as well at the end. But you are being noticed as someone who is deepening their relationship with spirit, deepening their relationship with themselves, really getting to know yourself on a deeper level. You could have started therapy recently. I am also going to therapy starting next Tuesday. Excited. Sure. But what's it called? I think you are being perceived as someone who is taking that step, taking that leap, taking that initiative to know themselves better, as well as just share your knowledge as well. It's like learning yourself so then you can help other people, because there is a lot about like other people. It's like, again, a balance between like knowing yourself and helping other people, intelligence and drivenness. There's not too many. Is there cups? Yeah, there's cups. Okay, there's 2 of cups here. Okay, good. I was like, there's not many pentacles. So right now, so you're definitely being perceived as someone who is building, but you haven't yet grounded it. I would say you haven't reached the fruits of your labor yet, and you're being perceived as someone who hasn't got there yet, but again is so capable of it. I want to just really emphasize that you are so capable, that you can, and I want to say it again, you can reach your goals, and you're being perceived as a person that can reach their goals, and that you're doing the right thing. You're preparing yourself. You're getting ready. You're making the right connections with that networker card. You are, what's it called, with this strength. You're really tapping into your inner strength. Again, you're being seen as slightly egotistical, but it's because of the fact that like you come off so sure of yourself. You come off so sure of yourself that's kind of where the ego-ness comes in from the other people's perception. Alrighty, so collective pile ones, let's grab your angel that has been walking with you, as well as your message. So I'm going to do your message first. So it's in Spanish. I did write it down because, it's my first reading back. I'm like, let me do a little bit more work. Let me put in some more work. But you have the love card. You have the love card. And here, if you want to screenshot the message, or if you know Spanish, you can just read it. So, and I'm going to read it in English. It says, love people. Love them with all your heart. Just make sure you love yourself first, period. Yes, and I did already know that card before. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I did already know that card before. But that 2 of Cups also kind of gave me some self-love energy. Yes, make sure you love yourself first. Love other people with all your heart. But just to make sure you care for yourself, balance, girl. And your last one was your archangel that is walking with you, that is kind of working with you right now, or most present in your life. I cannot pronounce this name. So sorry to the archangel, but I can read it. So the core messages, it says prayers, meditation, and spiritual journey. And the message in the book, I'm going to read it to you. It says, listen, child, I can't read my handwriting. Oh my God. I think it says listen to all our needs. Listens. Okay, so this is the archangel. So he listens to all our needs and transmute them to the creator on our behalf. Our prayers and invocations become beautiful flowers as they transcend to the heavens. Okay, period. Okay. So yeah, so again, you're not in the grounding stage yet. Again, you have not reached the grounding stage. You probably haven't reached the money, the pentacles. You haven't reached that stage yet. But just know that your angels, this angel specifically, if you want something, pray to that angel, pray to God, pray to whoever your your spirit guides are. I'm in African spirituality, but I still work with the angels. I think all spiritual workers work with the angels. But But pray to whoever your people are. If you're Christian, pray to Jesus. If pray to whoever your people are, and just know you are being supported. You are being supported on the spiritual road towards your dreams, and you are on the right path. You should stick with your confidence, stick with your introspection, stick with your meditation, with your spiritual work, and continue to love on yourself, because that is ultimately, you're really cultivating the energy you need behind the scenes to then bring it into reality. And I think that's just a message of like, if you're not seeing the fruits of your labor yet, don't give up. Like, do not give up. Just know that you just need to do a little bit more energetic work behind the scenes before it comes in. Because again, there's a lot that goes behind the scenes. I'm being called to tell you this. the reason I was on such long of a break was because I was not doing the work behind the scenes. I do active spirituality. I was not working with my guys. I had to work with my, what's it called? I'm in the Haitian, so I'm like, I got to work with my Loa. I got to work with God. I have to work with my own angels. I have to work on myself. And until I do that first, I cannot present readings to y'all. I mean, like I could, and they may be accurate, but I'm not going to feel in it, and I'm going to keep being sparse. I'm going to keep going in, going out. I'm not grounded. You need to sometimes do work behind the scenes before you bring things to reality. And when you do, you get the results. When I did that the first time for about 2 or 3 months, not 3 months, October, November. So about 2 months before I first started my channel, I was doing so much work behind the scenes. And I was still taking care of myself. I would take breaks. I went on vacations, but I was still consistently posting every single day. And you know what happened? I gained a lot of success. I got the brand deals, but it was because I did the work behind the scenes. I manifested. I prayed. I actually did the work, and then I put it out there and just hoped. And you know what I mean? Just said, well, I hope it works out. And I'm kind of have to do it all over again. And I think that's the message for you. You just got to keep going. You just have to hope you're being perceived very well. And this is just a message from Spirit to tell you that, like, you're being perceived well. Don't think that you're being perceived negatively, because you're not. And you are doing the right thing by balancing between seclusion with the Hermit, the Four of Swords, the Queen of Swords, as well as putting yourself out there. Two of Cups, King of Wands, Ace of Swords, trust your intuition and strength. Alrighty, collective pile number ones. I do hope this reading resonated. Again, if this did, I would love a donation, just because new laptop fun, child. New laptop fun. But you don't even have to donate. Again, you can get a reading from me. All the money that I make until I get a new laptop is going towards a new laptop. So if you would like a reading, please check out my website. It is linked below. I showed you at the beginning of this reading how to get there. So yes, check out my website, and yeah, it has more information about me, my channel, everything. So I really appreciate it again. But yeah, if you can't donate, please just like the video, comment, like the video, and subscribe. Alrighty, I'm going to leave now. Alright, have a blessed and beautiful high vibrational day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, collective pile number twos. If you picked this tiger's eye kitty cat, this is your reading. Oh, where's my motivate? This is your reading for how you currently being perceived by the world. A reminder to please like, comment, and subscribe. If this reading resonates, I really appreciate it. As you guys have probably seen, my laptop is quite broken, so any donations is especially appreciated for any of the readings, as well as if you would like a personal reading. You should see on the screen how to get to my website, the About Me page, as well as how to schedule a reading. All my prices are linked. Again, you can probably see on the screen. So again, please, if you would like a reading, if you resonate, this is a great time to get a reading. There's different options. We can talk about it if you don't do face-to-face. Or again, if you just like to donate because this reading resonates so much, that is also appreciated. But more than that, subscribe and like. All right, I'm going to stop rambling. Let's get started. Pile number 2. Let's get started. So these cards are here. We're going to start with your animal and the archetype cards. And then these 2 cards are your advice for the end. There's an archangel that's been walking with you, as well as some advice. So let's get started with your oracle first. So your first oracle, we have the koala. We have calm, perspective, imagination, and ease. Number 44. Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't peep because pile number 1 was 33 and you're 44. Very interesting. And it's continuation. But yes, we have calm, perspective, imagination, and ease. So you're being perceived as someone who just has an inner knowing. I heard inner knowing. You have an inner knowingness about you. You could be older, definitely the 30s. I'm getting 30s, or just an old soul. You have an old soul aura. You're being perceived as someone who just kind of knows, and it's inner. The most thing I'm kind of getting is someone just with an inner knowing. You kind of just know. It's like you nothing, not much shakes you up. 4 and 4 is an 8. Life path 8s actually are not like that. I would say life path 8s give me more Taurus, more driven, more money focused, more business. But for you give me more like life path. I'm getting like a 7. You give me like a life path 7. You give me a life path, what am I getting? Like an ease. What's like a life path that just kind of knows? What's it called? Like 33, but no, like maybe a 22, like a 22. Yeah, so like maybe like a 22 or like a 7, a 9, you know, someone who has an inner knowing. It's kind of like you have an inner calling and inner strength, or like someone who's been through their Saturn return. It's like, it's not someone who's kind of in it. It feels like you're either at the end of it or you've been through a Saturn return. You know, that's kind of how you're being perceived. That is definitely your aura right now. So let's put this up here. I'm going to keep going into that, but let's get your archetype card to just for some further messages. How are you being perceived right now? Ooh, we have gambler, willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. Yup, period. That's what I was getting. It's kind of like you don't need validation. You're being perceived as someone who doesn't need to be validated. You're just like, I'm going to follow my intuition because I know it's correct. It's kind of like, you're like, I know what I'm meant to do in this life. I know what I'm doing is correct. I don't need your validation. That's kind of what you feel like. And that's how you're being perceived. What did I say? Yeah, perspective, calm, imagination, and ease. Willing to follow your intuition even when others doubt you. Yeah, so you're definitely being perceived as someone who just is like, you don't really care. You're not taking advice from other people. You're not taking criticism. It's like you've kind of learned to trust yourself. You've learned to trust yourself, and you're being perceived as a person who does trust themselves securely. It's like you're so secure in your intuition. You're so secure in your inner knowingness. You're being perceived as someone who is just like, nothing can kind of shake you right now. Nothing can shake you. Nothing can take you off course. You know, you're very just like, no, I said this way. We're going to do it this way because this is what I feel. And it's maybe a little rigid, maybe definitely a little Taurus energy. You could be a Taurus or have those placements in your chart. Even like a Virgo, but again, it doesn't feel like argumentative, you know. It's kind of like, it's an inner knowingness. It's like nothing can shake you. I'm literally seeing in my mind's eye, I'm seeing the vision of like a pole, you know, like a tree, not even a pole, like a tree. It's like the tree's there. You're not moving the tree. You know what I mean? It's like the tree's going to stay there. You know, may like, what's it called? Flow in the wind, you know, move left, right, but you're stand still on your decision, on what you're doing. You're very, very, very sure of like who you are, where you're going, and what you're doing, and no one can really stop you. You may have big dreams with that imagination. Wasn't it imagination, right? Yeah, it was imagination. You may have very big, oh my God, why does it keep doing that? But you may have very big dreams with the koala. You may have a large imagination. You may have very big aspirations, and people may not believe in them. And you're just kind of like, I don't give a crap what you say. Like, I'm going to do what I need to do. You know, you kind of have that like energy of like, I can do whatever I want to do because, ooh, child, sorry y'all. Hello, can you hear me? But I said that as it was 3:33 on the clock. But you kind of just have the energy of like, I'm gonna do this because God told me to, because my intuition is telling me to do it. I don't care how outlandish it seems, and I think you're usually correct. I do think your intuition is usually very, very, very correct. It's like, again, a gambler, you know, maybe sometimes you have losses, but even with that, it feels like sometimes when negative things happen, you're not shaken up. You're being perceived as someone who's not shaken up by bad things, you know? Like if something bad happens, if something, you know, you didn't get the result you wanted, you still have that inner calm. You still have that ease. You're like, well, it was meant to happen this way. I was meant to learn this lesson. I was meant to go through this trial. This was genuinely meant to happen so I could learn from this and grow from it. So that's overall how you're being perceived. Let's get into your tarot. Okay, so with the first card we have, oh my God, 1 second, y'all. Anyways, we have the Hermit. Yes, we just had the Hermit too. We have the Hermit, number 9. Did I say life has 9s too? Yes, someone who meditation, and in this deck, he's literally meditating. Yes, an inner knowingness, an inner calm. We have the 6 of Cups. Okay, that's like connected to the past, childhood. 10 of Cups. Yes, being perceived as someone who is very emotionally fulfilled. We have the Four of Cups. Okay. We have the Emperor. Okay. I'm hearing maybe two more for you guys. The first pile only got 6 cards, but I'm hearing 7 for y'all. We have the Ace of Cups. Okay. And the last card we have is the Knight of Pentacles, period. Okay. Let's just sit these out. Alrighty, and let's read the cards. Okay, so we have the Hermit, 6 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 4 of Cups, Emperor, Ace of Cups, and Knight of Pentacles. So there's a lot of cups here. So signs, strong cancers for this pile. But we have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. We have Aries with the Emperor, Virgo with the, I think I said Virgo too, Virgo with the Hermit, and then Knight of Pentacles is the Earth sign. So it's Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So there's some signs that could resonate with you. But if they don't resonate, you know, it's just for confirmation. Overall, how you're being perceived. Okay, focus, Kayla. Or Serendipity. Also, my name's Kayla, child. I be forget. Oh, I didn't even take the bottom deck. I'm also a Sagittarius. I be scatterbrained. Judgment, yes. Authority. You have an authoritative energy as well. Very like authority. Again, someone who's reflecting on their past. Okay. Whew. You're sorry. I'm channeling as well, so words just be coming out. Alrighty, so you're being perceived as someone who has learned from their past. You've been you've been through a Saturn return. You're almost at the end of your Saturn return. If that doesn't resonate, you've just been through intense therapy. You've been through intense, like a past life progression. I heard regression. You've maybe done a past life regression recently or before. You know, you've done something where that has helped you process a lot of different pains from the past. You've been through something that has allowed you to process you're just like the things that have been holding you back in life. You know, with the Hermit opening up your reading, you've gone within. You're no longer, again, seeking external validation. You're not doing that anymore, and you're being perceived as someone who is not accepting external validation. Because the 6 of Cups kind of talks about like happy memories, the past, your childhood. 10 of Cups is giving me, oh my gosh, she is not dressed. Oh my God, y'all. But what's Stop cards. Also, the fan is on, so the cards will continuously drop. But yeah, you're being perceived as someone who has really started to take care of themselves. The Emperor, you have an inner confidence to you. You have an inner authoritative. The 4 of Cups here sometimes talks about, you know, what's it called? Not seeing what's right in front of you, being like outdated mindsets. Spiritual practices aren't lighting you up in the way they used to. It just tells you to maybe be open to something new. So people, I think, are also perceiving you as someone who has realized what is no longer working in their life. I think this is telling you, the 4 Cups is kind of saying that you have now realized kind of what's no longer working. You really figured it out. You've tapped into your inner knowingness. Again, you really looked at it. I keep hearing it again. You've looked within. You've gone within. You've done the shadow work. You've confronted your shadow. And you kind of have figured out, like, what is no longer working in my life? What is making me disappointed? I have so much fruit around me. I am so blessed. I'm here. You have a lot of external. It's funny enough because I think you have a lot of external validation for your life. Like maybe you have a good job. You have a good relationship. You look good. You know, your fitness is very well. You know, you had things, but for some reason it wasn't fulfilling you with that 4 of Cups. Something wasn't fulfilling you. So you had to figure it out. You had to figure out what within me is not making me happy. Because look, funny enough, because we pulled this 10 of Cups. Oh my gosh, she's naked. And I'm trying to show you the card. Oh, give me a minute. Okay, so if you can see, this 10 of Cups is so interesting because it's just one woman. She's like looking at the rainbow, but she doesn't look so happy. So I'm feeling like this was you. It's like you had the happy home. It feels like you had the happy home. You had the good job. You had the stuff, but something wasn't working. Something was not making you emotionally fulfilled. And I'm getting now, you could be, it's because I just heard intuitively, so you could be at either stage. your first stage you could be at, like how I was saying before, like, you know, you've overcome it, or maybe you're at the beginning, and I'm so sorry for y'all at the beginning. If you were listening to this reading like, oh my God, I did it, but you're like, wait, but I didn't do anything. Girl, you could just be at the beginning. You could be at the beginning. So please take what resonates. You could be at the beginning stages of your Saturn return, at this emotional journey, at going through these emotional revelations, at like you're now realizing you've reached the height, emperor. You've gotten the confident, a little egotistical. You know, you really did everything you set out to do, but now you're like, I'm here, I've made it, but I'm not happy, and that maybe has caused you now to realize you have to go within for that happiness. Ace of Cups, you have to take care of yourself. You have to, start to love on yourself, figure out for yourself, meditate, go into your inner calmness, your inner wisdom, learn to trust the divine, learn to trust your intuition versus trusting just external advice. People that kind of just like don't know what's going on or not very tapped into spirit. The Judgment tells you that, it's also an energy of reflecting. So you could have already done this. You could have with the 444. And I was looking at the angels too. But what's it called? You could have already done this. You could have already did, the inner work and the reflection of your past and really dig deep and really confronted that shadow. But if you haven't, you're being seen as someone who needs to do that. So there's two kind of messages here. You need to take what resonates. You're being seen as someone who needs to do that or has already done it. It's like you're kind of being seen as someone who needs to trust their intuition, who needs to be more at ease. Or you're being seen as someone who's already done it. And if that message was a call and you're like upset because you're just like, darn, like I really thought I made it, do not be hard on yourself. That's like 4 Cups energy. Do not be hard on yourself if you haven't done it yet. Because this is like spirit kind of nudging you and saying, okay, like now that you realize you need to do it, just do it. There's no issues. There's no problems. You just need to go to therapy. Again, I was telling Pile 1, I'm going to therapy on Tuesday. I need to get through some stuff. And that's the reason I'm back here today. I really had to go within. Before I could even go to therapy, I had to just ask myself, what do I even want to confront in therapy? Maybe that's what your first step is. Again, if you haven't already done it, what do you have to confront in therapy? Before you can even get there, you need to still go within. It's like you're not getting over the fact of going within, confronting your shadow, seeing what's not making you fulfilled, especially if your outer life is fulfilled. If your outer life isn't fulfilled, this Knight of Pentacles tells me that you're slowly getting there. I think that Knight of Pentacles, that extra card, was just a confirmation from spirit and from the people from your perspective, like how people are perceiving you, how the world is perceiving right now, that like you're working. You're slowly but surely building up a lot of success. And the Emperor and the Knight of Pentacles is just telling me more on the perception side that like you are building. You're not Pile 1. Maybe that's why I was connected to Pile 1. But you are very you're building up very good. You're very confident. You will have financial success if you don't. I think a lot of y'all do. I think a lot of y'all are cool. But if you're not, I'm telling you, you will get to that financial success. It may take a little longer than you wanted, but you know what the bigger message is? The bigger message is that success, that outer success, is going to come from emotional fulfillment, from going within, from tapping into your past, from tapping into your childhood, from Ace of Cups, from letting the love not come from externally but internally. The love needs to come from within, and it will radiate out, and that will change your external world. So that's kind of your message for sure. For sure, Pile 2s. Alrighty. So let's get into your advice. So here, I wrote it down because, I'm in Spain. Everything's in Spanish. So here, first we're going to get into your self-care card, your self-care. So it says, and if you can read Spanish, practice your Spanish. So it says self-esteem, and I'll read it in English, but here you can look at the Spanish version. It says, why do you settle for crumbs when you deserve a full plate? Girly, why do you settle for crumbs when you deserve a full plate? I think that message is telling you to I heard this so loudly. Do not just try to have a family, have a relationship, have the big house. Don't settle for external validation. It feels like a lot about external validation. Do not settle for external validation. You need to, what do you truly want? And don't even just settle for the little bit. Get the thing. I forget. I was manifesting something. I'm not going to tell you what it is because, got to keep that secret. But I was going to manifest a little bit, but then my spirit was like, no, go for the maximum. They were like, no, with the 44 on the clock. They said, no, go for the maximum. Why are you trying to get just a little bit? No, don't settle for crumbs. Go for the whole plate. You deserve a whole plate. You do not have to think in a scarcity mindset. And that does not just mean in money in a relationship, because I do kind of feel like a lot of y'all are already kind of set up financially. But what have you settled? What is something in your life that you settled for, that you have settled for, that you know you deserve more, you know you want more, but you've just settled because of, for whatever reason. You settled for whatever reason. And Spirit is telling you right now, you deserve the full plate. So manifest the full plate, go for the full plate. And that also means emotional fulfillment. That also means that you deserve to be happy. Your needs deserve to be met, Okay, and let's get into your angel. And this is an angel that I asked specifically. I was like, what angel is walking with them right now, working with them the most right now, for whatever a part of this message. So I have embryo. Anyways, so it says, so the three messages, it says, liberation, relationship, and communication. Okay, very interesting. All right, and it says, let me read. My handwriting is terrible, y'all. So it says, those who see both sides of an issue and are able to apply our intelligence to resolving dilemmas. Help us not absorb negative energy from others who may, but too much okay. Those who see both sides of an issue and are able to apply our intelligence to resolving dilemmas. Help us not absorb negative energies from others. We may, but too much, but ourselves into each battle and risk coming out badly. Oh, putting too much of ourselves into battles and coming out badly. Basically, this message, sorry, y'all, my handwriting is terrible. But basically, this message is basically just saying this angel is helping you, not absorb the negative issues. Do not put too much of yourself into others. But that Ace of Cups, like taking care of yourself. Don't invest too much into others. Don't, you really got to focus on yourself. This is a very, do not absorb the negative energies of others. The other opinions I'm hearing, do not care about other people's opinions. These are other people's negative energies. And this archangel could really help you, take that energy away. And again, it's good to see both sides of an issue. You are a very nice person. You're a very emotionally balanced person. You're seen as someone of authority, someone who is wise, someone who knows themselves, or someone who is learning to know themselves. But again, you cannot absorb other people's BS, and like how I said before, that everything that happens in readings and in tarot is a message. How I was saying I manifest something, but I'm not about to tell y'all. That's how y'all gotta be. You gotta be look, I'm manifesting stuff. You don't need to know about it. I don't need any of your negative energy, any of your negative vibes in my manifestation. And that's kind of what you need to be like. And this angel could help you. Alrighty, so collective power number 2 is I'm going to stop it there. I do hope this reading resonated. Remember to please comment, and subscribe. And again, if this reading resonated, I am looking for a new laptop, so be sure to donate if you would like to help me get a new laptop. Or again, book a reading with me. Again, I like donations. I love donations. Let me not say that. I love donations, but I like also having clients and seeing guys personal. The readings are more accurate. I can tap into your energy more, and you can get a more direct answer. So if this resonated, be sure to check that out. I also go live, so be sure to turn them notifications on, and I'm gonna stop yapping. Alrighty, have a blessed and beautiful high vibrational day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, collective power number 3s. If you picked the rose quartz crystal, this is your reading for how are you currently being perceived by the world, by your community. But yes, just a reminder to please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And as you probably saw, my laptop is broken. So if you would like to donate to the channel or get a personal reading from me, my website is up. You should see the little video on the screen. So yes, please check out my website if you would like to. And yes, again, getting a reading is the best way to help the channel, as well as donating. And again, more than that, liking, commenting, subscribing, that really helps the channel. And I really appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking. Let's get into your reading. All right, so how are you being perceived by the world? So we have 2 advice cards. So I'm going to sit those to the side, and we're going to pull your archetype and your animal oracle for how are you currently being perceived. So your animal oracle is the polar bear, number 3. It says solitude, friendship, strength, and resilience. So I'm getting you're a good friend. With the solitude, you could be a little bit hermit mode right now, but automatically with the 3 and the friendship, and the kind of the strength, I'm getting you're being seen as a really good friend. You're being seen as someone who is a valuable member of the community. I just heard. You're being seen as someone who is a valuable member of their community. I'm going to put this up here. But yes, you're being seen as someone who is a valuable member of their community, someone who is very strength, like I'm getting like a lot of men here, but you may not be a man, but like a grandfather energy, an older brother energy, a father energy. That's just the energies I'm kind of feeling. Someone who just kind of like knows the block. Ooh, what type of message? But like you know your block, you know your hood, you know where you're from, and like you're known. You're very known in your community, and you're seen as a person of strength, as a person to go through, a person to go to for advice as well. You're being seen as a person who like they want to take advice from you. Someone who is a little bit solitary, so maybe you have a tribe, you know what I mean? You have your tribe and you stick to your tribe, you know what I mean? You stick to what you may not be a traveler. I would say you may not be a traveler. You may not be a person who goes out and about too much. You may go out a little bit, but you may be really like rooted. You're very rooted in where you're from, and you're very appreciated where you're from. Okay, so your second card and your archetype card is vampire. Don't be scared, y'all. But it says makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. And I'm hearing read the shadow, but I don't think it's the shadow. It says depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. I really don't think you're the shadow aspect at all. It says makes you aware of someone or something is draining your life force. So again, maybe that's with the energy of like maybe you've been around the block. You know how I said know your block? I think I'm just young, y'all, but you've been around the block. You have been around the block. You get the energy. I just thought of like my mom when she called. Well, when you're parents, they'll be like knowing a certain friend or a certain person in your life. They're not the best. I'm also thinking of Haley Bailey in the DDG situation, where the whole internet tried to warn her. And I just watched this reading from a different tarot reader who was reading on them. Sorry, I'm going on so many different tangents. But the main message here is it's the energy of like you are seen as a person who is wiser, who has been around the block before. You kind of already know, and you're being seen as someone who can point out energy vampires, who can point out people who are doing who are in the shadow. Maybe that's why I was supposed to read the shadow. It's like you are very tapped in. You can see an energy vampire from a mile away. Like any people who are depleting other people who are have negative intentions. You have a really good psychic eye with that. You can really see it because you've been through it. You're a person who has been through stuff, so you can really see the energy before it kind of comes through. And maybe that's why you're so trusted in your community. That's why you're so appreciated. You really are appreciated. Right now, your perception is, or how people are perceiving you, as someone who is very appreciative, someone who has a lot of value. You have a lot of value within your community. Whether or not you know it, you do. Okay, so I'm going to pull your cards. And with the beeps, and as I was just about to say, I was like, I heard so specifically the first 5 cards are very important for you. So we're going to put the first 5, and then we're going to pour 2 more after. But I heard very specifically the first 5 are very important. So we have the 4 swords. Oop, child. Judgment. Yup, I can see that. Yeah, reflection. 5 of pentacles. You've been through some stuff. You've been through a hard storm, child. We have the page. Yeah, page of cups. And the 4 of wands. Okay, we're going to put the first 5 in the bottom. Wait, let me actually take these 2 out just so I can turn it over. Okay, and the bottom deck is the page of wands, which is so funny because the pages are like a young spirit of energy. So you may be young. You know what the funniest thing is? Because it's so much of like you've been around the block. You've been here for a while. You're appreciated from your community. Da 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 da. But you know what the funniest thing is? I think you're young. Like, I do not think you're actually an older person. I just think that you're a person with very good abilities. Someone who's just seen a lot, you know. And maybe I kept getting like a lot of block references. Maybe you grew up in a hard neighborhood, you know, maybe you've grown up in a place where you had to grow up fast. It definitely gives me parentified child. People who had to just grow up fast had to learn the ways of the earth quickly, and you're being perceived as that. With that 4 swords, that 5 of pentacles, and that judgment, opening your reading, it's giving me you really had to like take care of yourself. You've kind of been forced to grow up. You've been forced to like, you've been through many, many, many cycles in life, I'm hearing. You've been through many cycles, and you're being perceived as someone who's been through many cycles, someone who's been through a financial lack, someone who's been through having to confront their shadow with that judgment, confront their past, take time to reflect with that 4 swords. You're being perceived as a person who has been, with the 55 on the clock, you've been a person who's been really forced by the universe to mature and to grow up, and that's why you're so aware of these energy vampires. You've really dealt with some bad people, and people can kind of see it or like know it about you. You're being perceived as someone who is kind of guarded with that 4 swords. You are slightly guarded, but you're so valued. I think that's why it's like you're so close to your tribe, but it's really hard to get in within your tribe. Like, as a newcomer, it's hard to get in. It's hard to get involved. It's hard for you to open up to people. But the page of cups and the 4 wands, though, you're also seen as someone who is so sweet. Like, you're really being seen as someone who is so sweet, who is so like a good, like a kind soul. You're someone who's a very kind soul. 4 wands, you know, you're also wanting to be celebrated. I'm going to cry. I'm like, you need to know how celebrated you are amongst people. You're being perceived as someone who needs to be recognized. And I don't think you are, but like, I think you are, but I don't think you are in like a, you know, like a public placard, like a 6 of wands type of energy. I'm not sure. Maybe that's a 6 of wands will come out next, but it feels like with the 4 of wands and the page of cups, your community, your people, how you're being perceived is like, you really deserve a win. Like, you deserve a win. And what's it called? You're such a good and kind-hearted person. With the page of wands on the back, you still have a youthful spirit. You still have some youth to you. It's so interesting because it's like you have the energy of an old soul, someone who's been through a lot. I'm literally like imagining a type of person, like still like a black man. Like, I'm really like, in my head, it's like there's like a black young man who has been through a lot, who is so wise, who is so smart, who is so capable, who, you know, stays around wherever he's from, but is also young, you know, it's also fun. You know, I just saw this TikTok of this man, he didn't have kids, but it was like all the kids on the block like came to him, they came to like bring him outside to go play like football or something, and like he was like a grown man, and these are all kids, like little boys, but it's kind of that energy. It's like you still have a youthful spirit to you with that page of wand. You still have like a zest for life. It's just kind of been torn down probably, and kind of like from rightfully so, I will say. It's kind of been torn down, rightfully so, from this 5 of pentacles and 4 swords energy. So, I'm also going to I'm feeling to read 5 of pentacles specifically. So, let's read the 5 of pentacles for the personal and spiritual. It says, shift your focus from the material world to the spiritual world. In order to handle fears about stability and resources, creative solutions will appear when you ask for divine guidance. Health concerns may be looming in your life right now, but focus your mind on healing instead of suffering. So I'm also getting that you're being perceived as someone who has had, again, been forced. It feels like a lot of forcing energy. Who's been forced to learn this, like learn that stability in a mindset of lack is not good, that you need to just be in a mindset of abundance. You really cultivate your own spiritual practices. I'm getting a lot of Christians in this pile, a lot of Christians. So that vampire probably scared y'all. Sorry, y'all. But what's it called? Even if you're a Christian, you know, a person who has really had to tap into like going to church, reading your Bible, you know, really trusting in God, trusting in your angels to really get you through hard times, and learning to kind of shift your perspective and shift the way you move in the world to cultivate more abundance for yourself. And I do think you're probably at a stable point. Let's see what the other two cards were. Let's see the more information. King of Wands. Yes, I was getting a lot of man energy. And Nine of Pentacles. Yes. Okay. Yes, that's what I was kind of getting. Okay, so King of Wands and Nine of Pentacles. Yes, it's like that's what I'm like. I think you're more stable now. I really do. I really think you're more stable now. If you're not, this is just a reminder that you will be. But again, you're being perceived as someone who is, again, more solitude. That solitude energy with that Nine of Pentacles. You may not have a partner. You could with the Four of Wands. But if you don't worry, you definitely will. You're definitely highly sought after in a romantic field. That's just a side message. You are highly, highly, highly sought after in a romantic sense, especially like if you're a man. I heard, especially if you're a man, girl, you got options. You have options, sir. But anyways, we have the King of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. So you're also being perceived as a person who is confident, who is like, again, you've created a lot of wealth for yourself. And again, if that wealth is not monetary, that wealth is in knowledge. That wealth is in physicality. I'm getting, you're very cute. You're also being, I don't know what these messages, you're also being perceived as someone who is very attractive, King of Wands. Someone who is very attractive, someone who knows their worth, someone who you built it up, you built it from the ground up, and like you did that thing by yourself. You know what I mean? You know, you built yourself up. You built your business. You found your job. You know, you did what you needed to do, and you got there. I think that's why you're so revered. You're so revered in your community, specifically in your direct community. You're very revered. You're very appreciated, and you should have a lot of confidence in yourself. You're being perceived as a person with a lot of confidence. Now, with the Four of Swords opening your energy and the Five of Pentacles in the Judgment, you know, you may not have that confidence as much as you are being perceived to have the confidence, but you should. You know, you're being perceived with a lot of confidence, even if you may not have it truly, but you're being perceived as a very abundant person. You're being perceived as a very abundant person, a very well-liked person. Like you would, if there was any vote for like most popular in the city or most popular in a certain community, a certain group, you would win type of thing. Because again, you're just very, 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 very appreciated. What's it called? And am I getting anything else? Honestly, I'm trying to look. Because again, when I channel, the messages could be like, da, 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 da. But I'm getting stopped. We're going to shift to your advice. So, because yeah, I'm just not getting too much. I'm not getting too much else. So we have priorities. Oh, child. Oh, let me get my book. So yeah, I had to write it down because, you know, things are in Spanish. I live in Spain, if you didn't know. But we have priorities, and here you go. Let's turn it over. So I'm going to read it in English. It says, the quality of life is determined by how you spend your time. Make your calendar reflect the life you want. So it says, wait, let me say it again. The quality of life is determined by how you spend your time. Make the calendar reflect the life you want. Oh my God, that is so cute. So I think this is advice. So this one was advice, and this was like an angel walking with you. So this is just telling you, again, with your advice, because your advice is actually about love. So especially because I was getting those messages like you're very sought after. You may not be in a relationship, but you know you want it too. If you want a relationship, man or woman, I'm getting a lot of men here, but it could be definitely my channel is mainly women, so it's probably gonna be with a lot of women in this pile too. But you need to go on dates, girl or man. You need to go outside. If you want a relationship, if you want a partner, you need to go out and get it. You know what I mean? You need to put yourself on dating apps, or if you don't like dating apps, you need to put yourself in circles where there are other single people. You know, if you really want that life, you need to create it. You need to co-create. And I know you know how to co-create because I know you're intelligent and I know you're capable of everything you put your mind to. So this advice is just more practical, especially with love, because we're going to get into your angel, the angel that's walking with you. We'll get into that in a second. But yeah, you're very confident. You're very attractive right now. You can 100% attract a partner if you are single. If you're not single, if it's not about that, if it's more about like a business or money type of thing, you know, just change your calendar, you know, prioritize the life you want, you know, prioritize your life, prioritize the life that you want. Okay. And lastly, we're going to do the angel that's walking with you. So the messages on the bottom, it says, God and women, unity, balance, and harmony. It says the balance and harmony with the entire universe is achieved through divine connection. We will invoke, I can't say her name. We will invoke Shikana to bless our choice of love, of a lifelong partner, helping us find earthly love. So this is talking about, like, if you want a partner, this could be an angel that's walking you with right now that is really working with you to help you find your life partner. So just to call upon this angel, she may have a different name in English. You can look that up. But what's it called? She's going to help you find that lifelong partner and then like balance and harmony with the entire universe. And again, you're worthy of love again, especially because you had probably been through a lot. You are definitely slightly guarded. I heard 100%. You are definitely guarded with that vampire because you've been through a lot of energy vampires. That was your first message. You're being seen as a person who makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life or energy. You're so good at picking that up. Oop, I just turned out the candle by accident. But maybe that's a sign. They said, girl, wrap it up. Wrap it up. But what's it called? But maybe that's a sign that, like, you know, it's time to open yourself up. It's time to be like, you know, you can spot the vampires, but not everyone's an energy vampire. Not everyone. There are good and loving people out there, and the universe is helping bring them to you. Okay. So, collective pile number 3s. I think we're going to finish there. Remember, please, to like, comment, and subscribe if the reading resonates. I really, really, really appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. Don't forget to, if you would like a personal reading, check out my website. Yeah, and donate. Again, my laptop is quite broken, so yeah, please donate, and I think I'm going to stop talking. Have a blessed and beautiful, high vibrational day, and I will see you guys later. And again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on the channel. But yes, have a blessed and beautiful, high vibrational day. I'll see you guys later. Bye.